Quiet down, class. Quiet down. Mr. Preston, take your seat, please. Miss Davenport, cell phones turned off and put away. Honestly, people, my heavens. Thank you. Now, today's session will feature a very special guest. He comes to us all the way from St. Louis, Missouri. His name is Prince E. Some of you young people might already be familiar with him. Mr. E will be attempting a feat that has never yet been accomplished in the history of hip-hop. A lyrical look into the 3-pound organ between the ears and behind the eyes, the human brain. Now, without further ado, it is truly an honor to have him with us today. Please, give Mr. E a warm welcome.
It's a puzzle so subtle, I'ma take it apart. Hemispherically divested of its extraneous parts. See, encompassed inside of that cranial vault is the brain, the mainframe. And its expansion was due to the advancement of language and art. But before that, it was used to outsmart predators. Physically weak, yo, we had to be exceptional. We had to adapt, we had to make developments. Living on Mother Nature's doorstep in Africa, them savannas was absolutely enormous. The carnivore threat had us stressed to them neurons started to fire like a Corvette, and nature selected, and we evolved a more sophisticated cerebral cortex. This is the part for deep thought and consciousness. Them tiny little hominids finally got cognitive. We started living in groups, developing tools, cooperating and distributing food. It may not seem like much, but for our species, the way of life changed and our image improved. The occipital screw, the parietals and the temporal too. The frontal lobe damn near went through the roof. If you don't know what these are, let me explain them to you. Let me explain. This is the brain.
Wow, that was amazing. I told you guys he was good. How do you talk so fast? That's astounding. Oh, there's more. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yo. Now see, the parietal lobe is the spatial awareness center. It prevents you from bumping into things, maintaining the body's position, assessing the distance from objects, along with keeping a composite of your self-image. Now the occipital region is limited to vision, perception like a projector for a motion picture. It's simple, after you see an image, its characteristics are transmitted to this area for recognition. Now the temporal is something different, complex and extensive on both sides like peripherals, derived from its Latin name lobus tempus or lobus temporalis, meaning pod in the temple of the head, which makes perfect sense, cause this is the area you access when you're remembering a prayer. Yeah, your memory and the auditory senses. Language comprehension's also found in this dimension. Now the frontal lobe runs the show, comparatively the largest the frame, and no other part of the brain is coming close. The most evolved of all the faculties, its main objective is to act as chief executive of the factory, responsible for creative thinking, strategy, decision making, motor functions and personality. The Da Vinci in the cranial cavity, but it's the connections of the lobes as a whole that truly make the masterpiece. With this device there's nothing too challenging, cause if it can be conceived then it can be done.